What's up, guys? My name is Hayden, aka Flamethrowers, and welcome to the kickoff / post-draft power rankings for the ISL World Cup tournament. I will give minor recaps for the teams ranked 6th through 30th, then a longer recap for the top 5 to make this video go a little faster. Please pause if you would like to read the full teams for yourself. With that being said, we were able to get all 30 teams and complete all 3 drafts, and we asked all the coaches to vote for their favorite drafts. So without wasting more time, let's hop into the post-draft recap power rankings. We have a 3-way tie for 28th between Elsa Love Club, coached by Cirrus, Evil Gangars, coached by Dare to Burst, and the Monterey Bay Sharpedos, coached by Travis. The team I'm most shocked about being down here is the Elsa Love Club. I feel like having Peterunt being able to parting shot into one of the heavy hitters, Genesect, Megalodius, Zorora, or Conkeldurr, is going to catch a lot of teams off guard. We have a 6-way tie for 22nd, and I didn't want to clog the screen up too much, so I kept it to 3 teams per page on this one. The Los Reshiram's, coached by Pivot Vortex, the Orlando Mudkip, coached by Viper Pilot, and the Seattle Sires, coached by Mike Mangatsu. There's going to be power on every team in this tournament because of the 3 separate 10-team drafts, but it's still weird to see a team with Urshifu Rapid and Roaring Moon this low. Moving on to the other 3 teams tied for 22nd, we have the Chicago Booloos, coached by Hunt, the Glowing Gorguys, coached by QOD, and the London Corviknights, coached by the Hey Kid. As you can see, the power continues with Nagandal on the Booloos, Mega Metagross paired with Landorus T on the Gorguys, and Sneasler with Ursalina on the London Corviknights. I also want to shout out the Toucannon pick on the Gorguys. It's one of my favorite picks of the draft, and I hope it has success during this tournament. We have another 6-way tie for the 6th at 16. The first 3 teams are the OKC Thunderous, coached by Cam, Psyduck OP, coached by Gecko, and the Sindero, coached by Dr. Dents. If there is one team that has stood out to me so far in the first half of this recap, it's the Sindero. You have Mega Blaziken leading the offense, then you have a defensive trio in Dodonzo, Sylveon, and Umbreon that just about every team wants to avoid. Now on to the other 3 teams tied for 16th. We have the Cambridge Camerups, coached by Alex, Doom Desire, coached by Rawthorn, and the MK Rhydons, coached by Matt. I have some bias because my favorite Pokemon is Rhydon, so I want to see the MK Rhydons do well in this tournament. I like their team build of top-end special attackers to go along with defensive mons who can serve multiple roles. Then having buffed Mega Banette in the back seems like a steal in the D tier. We have made it to the top half of the rankings, and it begins with a 4-way tie for 12th. D's Pokemans, coached by Jam & J, the Clangorous Kypros, coached by Squash, and Multiscale, coached by Pooper, and the New England Patrex, coached by J Banks. If I had to pick my favorite of these 4, it's tough, but I would probably have to say it's Multiscale. Magearna can sweep any team. I love Garchomp because you can use it in so many different ways, and then it has what I think is the most underrated Mega in Mega Gallade. Moving on, we have yet another 6-way tie, this time for 6th place. To start, we have the Moose Jaw Marowaks, coached by former ISL champion Peach Fuzz, the Oslo Oshawotts, coached by Andreas, and the Royal Regieleki, coached by Hamish. I do find it a little funny that we have 2 teams that started with Mega Metagross and Landorus T, yet the Gorguys to rank 22nd, and the Oshawotts are tied for 6th. If I had to pick one, I'm not betting against Peach Fuzz's Marowaks. It has offensive power all the way through the draft, and I would not be surprised to see them in the finals again. Here we round out the teams for 6 with the Detroit Litleos coached by Gustav, the Houston Slash coached by myself, and the Los Angeles Lucarios coached by Tess. Sorry, I have a stutter and I'm trying to work through it. The Lucarios are my pick for the best draft, pairing Mega Metagross with defensive stalwarts in Gliscor and Sylveon is going to make team building easy. Plus, pairing Dragonite with 2 high-powered offensive mons and Megagross and Chandelure make this my team to beat going into the tournament. Not to mention the Zoroark mind games that they could play with. Just imagine you think a Meteor Mash from Mega Metagross is coming, but it turns out to be a Specs Dark Pulse instead, and now your physical check is gone. But with that, we have reached the top 5. Coming in at number 5, we have the Retro City Rampardos, coached by Mel. I love the versatility that Garchomp, Scizor, Entei, and Florges brings to the team. They can all be heavy hitters, while at the same time being great defensive mons, depending on the team matchup. Sceptile and Reverum are 2 of my favorite D-tier mons in this tournament. In a past season of the ISL, Sceptile was my MVP, and I don't think I brought the same set twice that season. It has a pretty deep offensive move pool if you like to be creative in team building like I do. Then you have Reverum, my favorite Gen 9 mon, and if you run my favorite set of Scarf Parting Shot, then you basically have a free switch in for Mega Alakazam to set up a sub or a Calm Mind, or just hit something with its base 175 special attack. Easy early season pick for possible Golden Mon winner, which would be this tournament's MVP award. At number 4, we have the Dallas Victory Stars, coached by current ISL champion Xavier. This is another draft that just went all out with offensive power, pairing Darkrai with 3 of the most versatile offensive mons in draft, Salamence and Infernape. Is a nightmare for someone to have to prepare defensively for this team. Not to mention that while doing this, he also has his Terra Captain Rhyperior in the back that can collect Rock Polish and run through teams that forget about it. As I said before, I love teams picking Sceptile. I also love his Stellar Captain pick in Luxray. Stellar Terra Guts boosted facades are going to hit like a truck against anything that isn't resisted to it. All in all, another solid draft for our reigning champion. Number 3, we have the Lafayette Litwick, coached by Tassinda. Facing this team, you have to prep for a drought-boosted Gauge and Fire, a possible Trick Room sweeping Hatterene, and all while Kingambit is just in the back waiting to revenge sweep you. This team's biggest flaw might be that its hazard control comes down to Torkoal and Skuntank, but if you waste time setting up hazards against this team, it might just be setting up with one of its sweepers to end the battle before it really matters. Landing at number 2, we have our defending low-tier champion Boston Blades, coached by Iron Chef. On Showdown, there's a saying that pivoting wins championships, and if that's true, then the Blades are looking good. All of their heavy hitters can pivot with Genesect, Victini, and Low-Kick having U-turn, then Zoroark coming in with Volt Switch. You have Amoonguss who can anchor any team defensively, and you have Tyrantrum who is an absolute problem while only costing them a D-tier pick. I'm excited to see this team work, but I'm not excited knowing that if I want to win this tournament, that I will probably have to go through this team. Rounding out our 30-team post-draft rankings, we have former champion, current ISL commissioner Gavin, coach of the Utah Wees. He went into this draft with the idea of making a team centered around switching forms, and I feel like he beyond succeeded. He has Palafin, Zero to Hero, Aegislash, Sword and Shield, Meloetta, Singer or Fighter, Darmanitan, who is a possible Zen mode coming this season. He has Mega and Aerodactyl. He has a couple of Lowland forms and Executor and Ninetales. And to round it out, he has Cast form. I love everything about the concept for this team, and I can't wait to see it put in work. And with that, we have come to the end of the post-draft power rankings. If you have made it this far, please tell us who you think had the best draft for this tournament and why it was the Houston Slash. Also, put in your MVP prediction for this tournament, as well as your C tier and lower MVP prediction. With that, I will see you guys for the scheduled release that will come in the next couple of days. Thanks for watching.